Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kristen, and this is the July 2023 Ink Flight unboxing. I'm so excited. Dominant Industry. Nice. Ooh, we got a notebook here. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Oasis Notebook, National Parks. I guess I will be. Ooh. Oh, this is cool. Okay, let me get the box out of the way. I like this paper. It's nice and smooth. It's cream colors. You see the comparison between the two colors. But I actually really like the way that this paper looks. The grid lines on the paper. So you can write as small or as large as you want. And there are vertical lines to keep your text or whatever it is that you want to draw or write lined up just right. That's cool. The midway point are these thirds. One, two. Oh my goodness. Wait. So I guess these are 7. So you could actually make a calendar with this. If I'm looking at this correctly, this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, 6, and 7 with a little bit of margin on the outsides. I think this is very nice. I love this paper. And so they also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Let's see if I can get this in the frame. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. I guess I can go ahead and read about this. National Parks Notebook. Okay. Even if your summer vacation is more of a staycation, we hope you'll enjoy the Wanderlust themed artwork of the National Parks Notebook collection included in this month's box. This is very beautiful. I love the colors. Enjoy printed maps and information about each park found on the inside covers of each notebook. This is beautiful. I really like this notebook. I'm excited to use it. I'm going to try it out, especially since this page is glued to the cover. I'll go ahead and use this page as the test for the Dominant Industry inks. Okay, one of 6 different covers that illustrate various scenic U.S. national parks. 160 page A5 sized notebook. It lays flat with ease. Yeah, it does. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Nice. Feel free to use all your fountain pens and inks on Japanese-made Oasis paper inside this notebook. The 84.3 GSM paper stock can handle the wettest nibs and boldest inks with ease. Okay. The exclusive Oasis paper layout combines elements of lined, grid, and dotted formats. The unique page design is a versatile canvas for all your creative musings, design projects, and adventure logging. This month's Ink Flight sticker reflects the sparkly brilliance of shimmering fountain pen ink. I do love the colors of Dominant Industry inks. They are just so beautiful. So let's see what we've got. Dominant Industry expresses the emotional colors of nature with fountain pen ink. The company makes inks that are faithful to the basics of function and performance. Their ink formulas are nearly pH neutral and made with eco-friendly materials. All right, so let me get set up. Write the ink names on here, put little stickers on the tops of these vials, and then get to swatching very, very soon. So I'm going to be swatching on coloring cards, Midori paper, Iroful paper, 68 GSM Tomoe River paper, 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, and 52 GSM Cream Tomoe River paper. I'm going to finish getting set up. I'm so excited about this notebook. It's so nice. It's so cool. So pretty. I mean, I could give this away, but I don't want to. So yet another notebook in my collection. I love this. Ooh, oh my gosh. I just bought a sample of this ink, Le Nuage. Ooh, okay. I have yet to, yeah, this one is coming in the mail from Van Ness Pens. I'm so excited to try this one out. I think this is French for the clouds or clouds. Yeah, this watery blue ink has clouds of lavender and glistening shimmer. So this is inspired by Claude Monet's famous painting, Water Lilies. Monet is like one of my favorites. I'm not well versed on his art, but the impressionist painting style that he used in his artwork is just, I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy. So now I'm going to have Instead of 4 ounces from Venice Pens, I'm going to have 6 total ounces. And so I'm so happy. I'm excited. I have a feeling this is probably going to be one of the inks already. If it behaves well, this is going to be one of the inks that I really want to try for the month of July. So let's see. We'll see. Let me keep going. Oh, yes. Oh. Okay, so let's take a look. These are some beautiful looking colors. The greens and blues and purples and a couple warm colors as well. So November Leaves is a nice looking brown. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Thank you, Ink Journal. Thank you, Ink Journal. First up, we've got Dominant Industry Evening. This pale violet shading ink evokes a sky of majestic clouds lit by the setting sun. I have a soft spot for purples, violet inks. Did I grab some? Did I grab any? Is it really this light, this dry? It feels like it doesn't want to leave the nib. This is the most difficult ink I've ever experienced. Let's try it again. It's on the nib. Okay, it's very pretty, but it's very dry. So the next ink is Dominant Industry Winter Pine. This pale sage green has good shading with purple gray undertones. It looks very pale, very light, but I love the color. What was that pale green that had the shimmer? I think it was one of the Colorverse inks from a previous ink flight. Colorverse Cat's Eye Nebula. This reminds me of Colorverse Cat's Eye Nebula from last month. But yes, definitely a deeper, less saturated version. All right, so the third is Dominant Industry November Leaves. This sandy brown ink has a nostalgic antique feel. I'm liking these colors. I like the color selection that they have. I think that would be really nice in a wetter nib. This next one, Dominant Industry Goryo Celadon. This delicate pastel green shines with icy silver shimmer. These seem to be really nice soft colors for like spring, summertime. Now moving on to Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea. Your pen is going to want a spot of this warm orange shading ink. A spot or a pot? Yeah, it's definitely like a much more saturated color than the previous 4. So I'm expecting this to stand out. I would love to compare this with Diamine Ancient Copper. This definitely seems like a lighter, brighter version. It pushes me away and draws me in at the exact same time, so I'm not sure yet. It's really nice on the nib. I don't know what to think about that one. Okay, so Dominant Industry Horizon is the next one. This is one of the last two. They're both shimmer ink, so I'll just agitate while I read. Dominant Industry Horizon. Looking out on the twinkling ocean horizon, this ink presents a light turquoise hue with a cool sparkle. Ooh, which one was it? It was this one. I'm going to have to go back and do Goryo Celadon. I forgot that this was a shimmery ink. I'm going to add a couple more swatches to make sure I get the shimmer. I'm going to redo that one. It's like the ink is falling off the nib so quickly that it seems dry. That's a beautiful blue. It's very subtle shimmer. Before I do that one, I'm gonna see if I can get a couple more samples of this. I'm gonna do this one again, and hopefully I will get some good shimmer out of it. We'll take this off. All right, so now the one I am excited to try, Les Nuages. So inspired by Claude Monet's famous painting, Water Lilies, 1908, this watery blue ink has clouds of lavender and glistening shimmer. Yes. Can you tell I'm excited? Oh, I didn't do the writing samples of these inks on the in the notebook. I got so excited after looking at these inks. There we go. There's ink on mostly on one side of the nib. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this one in July. Again, thank you, Ink Journal. I'm so glad that it's a deeper color. I'm gonna leave them to dry on this paper for now since they're still a little bit damp. Looking at all of these inks, I'm really happy with the colors that I see. So Dominant Industry Evening definitely reminds me of Ferris Wheel Press, Little Robinia, and a couple other ones. Like I think I have a couple colors like this, but the most memorable one is Ferris Wheel Press, Little Robinia. Actually, also Purple Jade Rabbit was probably something similar to this as well. Dominant Industry Winter Pine. This is a nice cool tone green that has like a hint of brown going on in here. I really like it. But I wonder if it's going to be a bit too light in a pen. These inks are definitely still more saturated when they're coming off of a glass nib. This, of course, is the color that I really do enjoy. Colorverse Cat's Eye Nebula, Dominant Industry Winter Pine. So it's a less saturated version and it has like a little bit of pink going on in there where the ink pools. I do like Dominant Industry November Leaves. Most of these colors are a little bit faded on the cream Tomoe river paper. Like it's a little bit more difficult to read it on the cream paper just because there's less contrast between the ink and the paper itself. Let's take a look at the 68 GSM Tomoe river paper. So it's a little bit better, but my eyes are actually struggling since the inks are also competing with the dot grid paper. I forgot that this was a shimmer ink. So I did not agitate it after I wrote this part. So every other sample that I have on other papers is of just the ink itself. So there's a little bit of shimmer coming through right here, but there's absolutely none when I got around to swabbing the inks with the paintbrush, with the watercolor brush. So since I really wanted to see what the shimmer looks like, it actually looks really nice. It blends in pretty well with the ink itself. So let me see if I can, I don't know, it's very faint, it's very fine, and I like how it does not overtake the color of the ink itself. This orange, it also reminds me of Monteverde Fire Opal, which is, this is probably a closer match to Monteverde Fire Opal than Diamine Ancient Copper. So I think this might be a bit lighter in color, and then Fire Opal, and then Ancient Copper. This is a fun aqua turquoise blue color. I love the cool toned blue shimmer. And this is a nice one as well. Is the shimmer like a blurple color? I really do love like the cloudy blue, the desaturated blue color. Yeah, so that's still a little bit damp, and it's got some blue purple going on right there. I do like this color. So I have a plan. These are some absolutely beautiful colors. They're going to make an appearance in the upcoming Fix My Dry Inks series featuring the Van Ness White Lightning additive. So I'm going to put these off to the side and take a closer look at these 3 inks. I want to try this in the same month that I use Diamine Ancient Copper. So that's going to be coming up in a future currently inked video. So I might even throw like Fire Opal in there too. We'll see. But I want to compare this one with Diamine Ancient Copper because that looks lovely. So even though these are both blue inks, both shimmery inks, I don't think the shimmer particles are the same color. It looks like this is a cooler tone. It looks like the shimmer particles in this one are more of a blurple. And right there, they look actually purple. I don't know if you can see that. It looks more like a pinky purple shimmer in Les Nuages. For Horizon, it looks like a very cool tone, pale blue. Those are the colors of the shimmer particles in these 2 inks. So these are going to be the colors that I will add to my July 2023 currently inked. I'm excited. I was pleasantly surprised, but I love how Dominant Industry Horizon looks with that blue shimmer. That is just, oh, that's so nice. But Winter Pine is lovely. I like Winter Pine, and I think that would be a great ink to try one day, but it's probably going to be one of those inks that I would try making it a wetter ink. These 4 inks seem to be quite dry whenever I was swatching them. So you'll see over here on the Midori paper, it actually looks like it's a bit drier. You can barely see the writing on some of these strokes. Super duper light in some areas. Ireful is just, it's disguising the dry qualities of the inks. But then again, it also hints towards the dryness with the heavy shading that you'll see over here in the heavy swatch area. That Midori paper, it is not going to lie to you. These are dry inks. Let's do some swatch comparisons. I forgot to do that. I'm going to compare some of these inks with my current collection. Okay, so first up we have got Earl Grey Tea. Compared against my boldest shade of orange, Flapjack Octopus Orange by Anderillium. So it's definitely a deeper, more muted, more autumn feeling orange. It's similar to that, but dominantly it definitely has more yellow. That's very interesting. It looks very similar to Colorverse Alpha Ori. This has a sheen, a little bit of a greenish gold sheen around the heavier application areas. And there does not seem to be a sheen with Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea. So Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea, Monteverde Fire Opal. Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea looks more orange next to Monteverde Fire Opal's more brownish, yellowish brown color. Graphum Faber-Castell Burnt Orange. Oh, you're all the way back here. Ancient Copper is just so dark. I put it over here in the reds. So yeah, that's the order of darkness. Ancient Copper is definitely a much deeper color. So maybe I should just compare the 2 of these inks against each other. I could possibly do Dominant Industry Earl Grey Tea with Monteverde Fire Opal. These 2 are very similar to each other. Dominant Industry November Leaves is very similar to the Cult Pens exclusive Diamine Coliseum. Coliseum looks to be a little bit more yellow. November Leaves looks more of it looks a little bit more cool. So it's heading towards the orange red shade of things, and this is more of the yellow going into the greener side of things. Arena Blanca, Van Diemen's Nutmeg, Diamond Golden Brown, Rey Jaguar, Ferris Wheel Press, Little Robinia. Oh, Dominant Industry Pearl Sunset and Dominant Industry Evening. It's interesting that I got Dominant Industry Pearl Sunset to write much thicker and broader and wetter, and this has shimmer in it. Dominant Industry Evening has absolutely no shimmer. These look like very similar colors, even though the lighter shading areas look more of a cool, like they have more of a cool tone purple, and this has more of a pinky, warmer yellow, warmer purple going on over there on the sides. Interesting that the shimmer ink behaved better than the non-shimmer ink. Purple Jade Rabbit looks like a warmer purple color. Definitely has a bunch of shimmer in there. Tasmanian Lavender by Van Diemen's. Troublemaker Inks Fox Glove. Sailor Yurimiku Kyokuya. Tom Sawyer. Oh, Sailor Yurimiku Amamoyoi. It's got a warmer shade of green, but definitely much more shading, more chroma shading as well. Pinonia Zusmo is similar, but it's a little bit more saturated. Cat's Eye Nebula has a more of a blue color, actually. Venta Inks Serena. Do I have anything similar to this? So let's back up a little bit. This is Goryo Celadon next to Cat's Eye Nebula. Venta Inks Serena. Yurimiku Itezora. Venta Inks Carnival. Pinonia Patina or Patina. Venta Inks Peria. So I guess I don't really have anything that's a complete duplicate of this color. Because either I have something that's much greener. These still look a little bit too green. Things that are much bluer, much more pale. Very pale, but still nice. Let's look at these two colors together. Let's see what I come up with first. Mar Caribe. It's very similar. Waringo Wayfarer. Rodoster Ocean. Pen BBS number 397, Breakfast Time. They're very similar in writing. This is also, oh yeah, Earl Grey tea next to Diamine Flame. So maybe I will do that. The day that I get a chance to get around to trying out Diamine Flame from the Inkvent 2022, I will grab Earl Grey tea to compare against that one. Okay, so let's take a look at this notebook. I'm going to go ahead and do a writing sample in the very back. It feels really nice. This is very smooth paper. It still has some texture to it, so it's not completely, it's not as smooth as the plotter paper. I believe that this has a bit more texture than the Kokuyo campus paper as well. But it feels nice. And it feels like it can actually take a bit of ink on it. So I'm not sure I understand when people say that they can tell or they can feel the coating on certain papers. I would need to touch papers and have someone tell me that this is what coated feels like, coated paper feels like, in order for me to really understand that. But it feels really good, and it feels like it can take a good amount of ink on it. Maybe that's what coated feels like, maybe not. There was nothing bleeding through. There is nothing bleeding through on the other side. And there's a little bit of ghosting, but that's absolutely acceptable. In comparison to the 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, this does a great job with ghosting, but absolutely no bleeding and no feathering. Everything looks nice and crisp. It's very pleasant to write on. There's definitely shading. Well, actually, there is a little bit of sheening. The black ink that I use, Leonardo Black, does have a little bit of a black sheen to it. So this one right here in the 16 actually has some sheen. It probably does do a good job at displaying sheening inks. But so far, it looks great. All right, so in closing, these are the inks. These are the ink samples that I received in the July Ink Flight box. I don't know. I'm happy. I get happy every time I get an Ink Flight box. So this is just great. I love it. I love the notebook. I love the ink colors. And once again, these are going to be the two colors that I will ink up in some pens for the July 2023 currently inked I guess I'm going to be using these two inks from mid-July to mid-August. If all goes well, they will still be inked until the next ink flight box arrives. Talk to me in the comments, please. Let me know what you think of this month's ink flight, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.